big mama, 3 kids. The way I came right back, you see that? Consistency, perseverance. All right, y'all. So, and I actually remember where I left off. So, what I was saying in the last video, I had to stop, delete, and repeat. And we're back. What I was ending with was that I have found myself in the past having a what's the word? Pattern of every time I receive something, any blessings, I feel like I have to split half. Like everything I get, I have to either and that could be religious, perspective that I was like raised with. It could be older sister syndrome, where it's like I'm so used to always having to share everything I receive. It could be literally a combination of so many damn things. But it's like when I'm doing certain things, what I'm learning, especially in my spiritual walk, it's about your heart posture when you are doing things. Now, my girl Megan Ashley drove that word into my dang head for a year, to where now it's like I always consider my heart posture before I do a lot of things, and it makes me check myself when I am doing something, especially when I start having that little nasty little toot about myself. I'll be like, girl, check your spirit, because yuck. So anyways, I have this habit of always feeling the need to split everything that I receive, and it's just because on a real inner understanding level, right, on a deeper level, it's like I didn't feel like I deserved to receive and just receive, just like being on the end of receiving and not feeling like I have to pay or I have to give, I have to sacrifice in order to receive. And I've definitely been blessed to have experiences that have kind of shown me that. First of all, show me that it was real, but also kind of reiterated to me. But when you have that like deep rooted sense of, damn, like I'm always obligated to something, and I talk about that in several other videos that I've made, that like this obligation to people that is not real. In the sense of this whole situation, I put this mental burden on myself that if I didn't do this, I'm the only one that could do this. Even then, God did not even tell me that that's what I should be doing, because it was not like I got like this divine knowing. It wasn't like I woke up at 3 a.m. and said, this is what I need to be doing. And like I was saying in the last or the first video, is that I'm in a season of rest. And sometimes we have this like eagerness when you feel that there's a shift like up on the horizon, I know that it's coming. It knows that it's coming. It knows that I'm prepared for it, and I know that it's on its way. I can't tell you what time and date, but I can feel how near it is. It's kind of like the people who could smell where rain is coming. I'm one of them people, okay? So when I feel like there's something to be done, or like I feel like there's a new beginning happening for myself, or that there's a shift happening, I will overexert myself in serving, like always feeling like I need to show up, always feeling like I need to do something. And never do I ever sit back, besides one season where I was forced into sitting my ass down and relaxing and resting. There was literally nothing else that I could do. And I don't like being forced into rest. He knows that, I know that, she knows that, whomever, right? But it was one of those understandings of, because I went through that season, I now know, and I have wisdom to be like, I am technically in the season of rest, and I've been praying to God for this. Why am I forcing my hand out of this perspective that clearly no longer serves where I'm at right now? And honestly, I did myself more harm than good, but honestly, I didn't look at it as one of those like, oh, look what you done did, you wasted time. It looked at it like, oh shoot, you learned something, because also you just had that duality lesson check that you needed. You do need the shadow self to come up and raise a little hell and tell you, hey, I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling this, you're not feeling this, and you're forcing it. And you know that we hate when you force it. And so yeah, that just is kind of the message for this, like the 2 videos that I just made. Hopefully I put them together. If I don't, you got 2 uploads in 1 week. It's the way you act. But no, let me kind of get into the duality part. A lot of times I've learned when I'm experiencing a lesson and I deem it as like I finally get out of feeling personally attacked and victimized, and I finally lean to, oh, this was a lesson. And I'm one of those every single day is a lesson. It might have been because I was raised on Blue's Clues. Okay? Everything's a journey. Okay? And we got to follow this process every single day. And what did you learn before we end this episode? What did you learn? It's kind of that vibe, right? And so when things happen, right, I normally only sit in my shadow self because of the mindset I've had for the longest time. That originally it wasn't something that I was doing, right? Meaning like when things would happen, the people that I was around, my environments, whether that was in my childhood or my adulthood, childhood we can't really help, but adulthood is a projection of the things that we dealt with in the childhood that we haven't sat with and actually dealt with in real life, right? So I realized that for the longest time, I've had this issue of punishing myself when something happens, or I feel this need to like demean myself if I didn't outthink my way out of another scenario that I probably did not project and I could not project out of my overthinking, which then makes me think that I need to overthink harder because clearly the overthinking I wasn't maximizing it to its full capabilities. And that's certainly not just true. Like it don't serve its purpose, babe. It's disgusting. It's yuck. And for the first time, because I've been practicing, and this is not something, and when I tell you guys like, hey, you should try this, I only tell somebody to try it with the things that I do. And what I do is like simple things that I try to do as a daily practice that's easily to implement. Meaning, when I get up in the morning and I'm already late for work, right? Instead of whipping my own ass mentally about it, I sit with myself and I go, well, why were we late this morning? I know it sounds insane, but it works because instead of me now overthinking, hyperthinking, and now whipping my ass the whole time I'm trying to get ready for work and get out the door, and because I'm already late, now I'm whipping my ass even more, which is causing me to be in this like mental mind fuck, right? And now I'm even more late than I would have been if I was giving myself grace. So in this season, I've been trying to learn to give myself a level of grace that I've never received externally. And it's very much hard to do when you have not received it externally, but it's a beautiful thing when you start to see that it's paying off. And so instead of now when I'm late to work and I whip my own ass, I give myself grace. Honey, you did try to take care of 3 kids. You went to work, no break, 8 hours a day, got off, still had to handle shit. Then you're arguing with others, you're sharing energy, you're being a therapist. Like, I'm not accounting all the things that I'm damn doing. And before with shadow self, she would arrive, but there was never another voice to come in to overreign or overspeak her in a way that she would even shut up to listen. Which would be why I'd be like, you be drained, you'll be burned the fuck out. Once you go through one of those, now you need 3 days off. Now you don't want to be talking to anybody. And so instead of me doing that now, anytime a moment like what I just discussed, where it's like you're learning a lesson, think about how you were raised as a child first and how your parents reprimanded you when a mistake happened or whenever there was basically an insignificant occurrence that like happened. If you had the parents that overreacted, the parents that went to automatic punishment every time something occurred, babe, you're home. And it's going to be a journey, but guess what? It's easy once you learn that you need to just change the voices internally. And as I'm learning to change the voices internally, my external is reflecting that there's people that the things that I'm starting to give myself grace on, those are the things that people compliment me on. Those are the things that people share like praises with and make me feel safe in now. And things that about myself that I thought were quirky and I was punishing my my shadow self was looking at it from this negative perspective. Now I look at learning lessons as like it's a beautiful thing. For one, it's a beautiful thing because I know that whatever lesson I'm coming out of, it's almost coming to an end if I'm finally gaining awareness. For one. For two, it's going to be expedited because I'm slowing down to take accountability for the part that I'm playing. I cannot control the external factors, and that's one of the hardest things to do when it feels like external factors have had such a control over you. And so the two videos that I did, message basically is, instead of, if you know that your shadow self, or basically it might not even be your shadow self, because some of us, we got other people's voices playing in our heads, and y'all can take that information and run with it rampant, right? Y'all can talk about, oh, she talking about skip. No, I'm not talking about none of that. I'm saying some of us literally, our inner voice is drowned out because there's so much external feedback coming in that as humans we are not used to, nor are we meant to have. And because of that constant external feedback, you don't hear yourself at all. To where whenever something happens, all you hear is other people's voices playing instead of the voice that genuinely matters. And the reason why you're acting out externally in whatever acting out way, because a lot of times we're not acting out, we're finally snapping out of suppression. And it's rearing its ugly head because some of us have been suppressing things a little bit longer than others. And we're suppressing a lot more things than people actually see on the surface in the first place. They see your life, they think, oh, she just covered a little, her mom did this, and she's going through that, and okay, she got kid, whatever the shit that they say about you that they think is the burden, babe, they don't know what you battle with on a soul level. And it ain't meant for them to, but it is meant for you to sit out and explore that. And when you are exploring that, especially in the season that we're in with spiritual awareness being at its highest peak, I feel like, in human history, it's okay to live in the duality of things. I feel like that's the best part about life, is that it is a dual thing. Like, there are going to be always not only just two sides, there's going to be so many motherfucking versions of what we think we limit mentally. And we only limit these things because the people on the outside have externally been limited, and now they are just doing their job and limiting us. But we're not living in it. Not with Latanya vibes here. All right, y'all. The next message, I think I might need to do like give y'all a little sneak peek in what's the next message, or I might need to shut the fuck up and not say nothing and wait for it to just come, so you know I don't block my own blessings. I think we're gonna go with that. Remember to stay true to yourself. Remember, your girl Latanya vibes got you. And until the next sesh, bye.